It's all you.
Why are you, baby?
It's all you. It's all
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the long-awaited video that everybody's been asking for and that we have promised. It's our question and answer about building this house. So a lot of you guys obviously came from Jack's channel where you watched our house tour, and there were so many questions and we promised to answer them over here. So we have gone through and picked out the most popular questions that we think you guys want to know, and we're going to answer them as best as we can. Okay, so we're going to go through the YouTube comments. We haven't pre-planned any of this. We're just going to find questions and just answer them as we go. So I'm just going to put a disclaimer in here that the answers to these questions are our personal experience. We're not experts in real estate in Indonesia or experts in building. This is just our personal experience and what we believe to be true for our circumstances.
Okay, first question. This one has 3.3 thousand likes. I'm assuming it's pretty popular. I'm really curious about the finances behind building this house, especially building in Indonesia. So what we did is we paid a 50% deposit of the total house price, and then from there we paid 1 month at a time until the house was finished, the remaining balance. I don't think you can pay for a house with a mortgage here if you're a foreign person. If you're a resident here, maybe you can.
Rules are
it's probably way different. But, oh hello. But yeah, for us, we had to pay 50% and then pay monthly until it was finished. I think if you're buying a house that's already built, you just have to pay for the whole thing in one go. But I could be wrong, but I think that's how it is.
So a lot of questions about the land size of our property here. So it is just over 900 meters square for our entire property. So the next question, how does this work? You own the house for 30 years or so, or are you guys going to be a citizen then and have the house for good? Okay, so this question comes up a lot in different ways on Instagram as well as YouTube. It's like probably the most popular question. A lot of people think what we're doing here is illegal and that you can't actually own a property here as a foreigner. So from our experience, what the deal is you can either do freehold or leasehold. For our house here, we did a leasehold. Because we are foreigners, we can't do freehold of purchasing land, basically like own it forever. So we did a leasehold, which means that we have a 31
On the land.
On the land, we have a 31-year lease of owning it. And it's all in contracts that basically after the 31 years, we have the legal right to purchase the land again for another lease at market value to the owner of the land. So generally what happens here that we've heard from people is that after 5-10 years, the landowner might start coming to you and being like, hey, do you want to renew, and start purchasing some more years, especially if you're looking to sell. A lot of people will purchase a few more years to add to the lease so they can still sell it with 30 plus years. So that's a really common thing here. It's all legal, it's all in our contracts. Okay, so a lot of people are making comments on us talking about custom made. When we looked back at the video, we realized we did say custom made a lot, and the reason why is because everything is literally custom made.
This is our sunken seating area, custom built here in Bali. The cushions also custom made.
All custom built, done as custom piece. Mirror we had custom made here in Bali. Custom built to fit all of our stuff. Here, custom made. Custom made. The bed was custom made.
A custom made worktop bench.
To compare it to building in Australia or anywhere else, in my experience, growing up in a country like that, things aren't generally custom made. These days, especially now, a lot of things are kind of like a kit kitchen. So it's you just go in and you look at a kitchen store and be like, oh, we like back cabinets, and they just it's flat pack, I guess, or machine made. Whereas here, there isn't anything like that. So things that would normally be done by machine and just mass produce the same across all houses, and you just sort of go through a catalog and be like, this kitchen, this bathroom, this. For us, it's not like that. It's all to the measurement. They come, they check, they make it all. So that's kind of why we said custom so much, because
also,
literally
people asked a lot on Instagram where things are from, and we wanted to go through that in the video. So if things were made customly for us, then it makes sense to just let them know we made it custom.
You can't just go buy it.
You can't just go and buy it. Why is nobody talking about the fact that they have a bathroom for their office? Well, it's actually a bedroom. The house plan was designed to be a bedroom.
So it was a 4-bedroom house originally.
If we sell the house, we want it to still be a bedroom, not an office. Not everybody needs an office, but we just, for obviously there's 2 of us here, we don't need 4 bedrooms. It made sense to make it an office. How long did you guys save for this house? So Lauren and I, obviously, if you watch this, you probably know what we do for a living. We do Instagram promotion, we sell presets, all that kind of stuff. And just a few years ago, none of us had any money at all. So all of this money that we've made has been online through ourselves. We're not trust fund babies. Our parents have very normal jobs. And yeah, we just made money through presets and doing online promotion. And yeah, we didn't really save for it as such. We just basically traveled whilst working. We didn't spend a great deal of our money. It just piled up in the bank, and then we decided it makes sense to just invest it in property. So we loved Bali, we decided to buy here.
And we also thought that it was a good idea to build a beautiful home here that we've seen as a great investment in the future. Not only is it an amazing house for us to live in, but in the future when we want to rent it out, or if we want to rent it out, it's a great investment here in Bali.
What are the hanging plants called that are around your house? I just asked my contractor and he said it's lik or anyu. I'm not sure if that's an Indonesian word, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but you spell it L-I-K-U-A-N-Y-U. So that's what they're called.
So another popular question is about how we found our architect and our team to build this, like whether we source all of the workers ourselves. So to give you a quick rundown of how it all happened for us, we were living in a really big, nice villa in Barawa before this, and when we were living there and we were actually paying quite a bit of rent per year, and we had this thought about why don't we build, because after this amount of years we've kind of paid it off with the price that we're paying in rent. So it kind of made sense to us that maybe we should buy something. So we started looking around, looking at a few houses, and most of these houses were like under 5 years old, but there was just so many things about the interior or something that I just didn't like. I was like I hate this, that, want to change it. So we started talking to the guy who was working at the complex that we were living in, and he was like, why don't you guys just build? Like, I know these people that are building this new development, and it's only just started, and you'd be able to change everything. Like, you could tell them you want this different and that different, and we were like, okay, like I guess we'll go have a look. And then we came out here and we met the contractor and the owner of this development, and he showed us around one of the villas that was already made, which was the first one. And then we basically just said, like, how would it work? Could we change things? And he just stepped us through basically saying, this is the plot, so you can pick your plot, they're different sizes, all the houses are basically the same. And then from there you can just make some modifications. Any modifications will just go on top of the price of like the land and house package. So the reason that we decided to do it this way and not just buy an existing villa, because that would have obviously been a lot easier, is because for the price of this was actually a lot more reasonable than what we were looking at in the other area. The other area was closer to the beach, so the houses were smaller, older, and we interiorly didn't like them near as much. So for us it seemed more valuable to be a little bit further out of Canggu and to have something that we could basically customize and have exactly how we wanted.
Can you make a video about the actual process, how much everything costs, how was the planning and decorating process, and how do y'all maintain when y'all are away? I guess the contractor, he already had a plan for the house. Every single house on this row was meant to be the same, and then each person that buys it has the freedom to change what they feel like. So we changed a lot.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything, to be honest. As far as the decorating goes, again, we just picked out what we wanted. We kind of showed him pictures on Pinterest and said we like this, and then they kind of did like a 3D render, showed us how it's going to look.
I would make like mood boards of all the things I liked, and sometimes I had like a million ideas for like one certain thing, and we'd have to sit there and have meetings and go over and over it and decide on like what is the actual theme of this. We can't make it too mixed matched, and then they would basically come back with a proposal for us, and that's kind of how it started. Once they came back with the proposal, we could tell them, oh, we don't like this. Like, it was a lot of time of back and forth planning it out because we were making so many changes. So also on this question, how do we maintain the house when we're away? Obviously, you know, we travel a lot. We have full-time staff that work here in this villa. We employ local people. So we have a housekeeper, we have a gardener, we have a pool keeper, and we also have security. So we have everything pretty much covered. Someone that also organizes and takes care of all of our bills. So it's pretty easy to maintain having all this staff, and also it feels great because we are helping out with the local economy and supplying jobs to local people.
How long did it take to build it? So we started building on the 1st of July and we moved in like mid-May, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't finished. It was far from finished. The downstairs area was finished because we had nowhere to stay. Our rent ran out months before that. So we traveled for as long as we could. Then we came back, stayed in a hotel, and we were just rushing to get in.
It was a very awkward stage. We had belongings everywhere, just in storage. Yeah.
So upstairs was still a big construction site. There was no beds. The walls weren't even painted.
The initial proposal was that we knew our lease was ending in March, and they proposed to us that the house would be ready exactly on that time. So we extended our rental for 1 month, earlier. And then by the time it was getting closer, we're like, this isn't near moving in. So that's why we had this awkward stage.
So yeah, we moved in when it was literally a construction site still. So we lived in the bedroom here. We had this part finished, and then the builders would trips in every single day, in and out, and drill. And it was still better than not having a house. So we were really happy to be here, and it didn't really matter to us. But I think it was actually fully finished.
Maybe June?
No.
July?
At least July, maybe August.
We went to Europe. Yeah, by the time we had Oreo, we got back from Europe end of July and we had Oreo.
Yeah, August.
So yeah, August maybe.
It was fully finished in August, but even then, the rooftop wasn't finished. We're still progressing with things now. The rooftop still isn't finished.
We changed that palm tree outside that you guys might have seen in the house too, with the big palm in the middle. It ended up dying, and we've got a brand new one which looks way better, which I might show here. What
were your biggest learning obstacles building the house? I guess it's our first ever house, so there's so many different things, but I guess there's things you don't really think about, such as some of the doors are a little bit too narrow. Again, when you're planning out a house, you're not really thinking about exactly how wide the doors are.
I think one of the obstacles here, and this touches on someone else's question about getting things from Australia, one of the biggest obstacles was what you could get here in Indonesia in terms of materials. So we struggled with finding tiles, really nice tiles that we liked, that we could just buy in a store for the pool and the bathrooms and everywhere. So that was kind of an obstacle, and obviously the gold taps, we've said that we got them from Australia. We couldn't find any gold tapware here in Indonesia. So it wasn't that we didn't want anything Indonesian in our house, we just had a particular style we were after, and we didn't realize until we were actually into the process of sourcing these things how difficult it might be. And we had the opportunity that I come from Australia, so we could pick up things when we were there and bring them back ourselves. That obviously helped. And then obviously we could work with some Australian companies, which also helped for bringing some things in.
Did you have fears around security leaving the house when you're traveling? We have 24-hour security. They're here full time, and then we also have cameras all around the house, so I think we're pretty good.
Okay, another popular comment is making a comment on when I said for when our friends come over for Netflix and chill. No, I wasn't referencing a mass orgy with our friends.
Our friends are pretty hot though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. It's not out of the question. But, but that's not what I meant. For me, Netflix and chill has become just a phrase I use to basically just say Netflix, watch movies. I have never used it in the context of what it actually means, because I never even was on Tinder or anything like that to know that phrase. So to me, it just meant hang out with friends. Isn't that what they used to say on Tinder?
No.
Oh.
Hey, your fridge looks really nice. What is the brand of the fridge? Thanks for sharing. It's an LG.
LG.
It's LG. I don't know what model it is.
We basically got it because my sister worked with them and promoted it, and I was like, can you even get this in Indonesia? We need it.
It's pretty easy to find though. If you go into the LG website, I'm sure you can just find it. It's the one with the glass.
I feel like I've been asked before about our bar chairs, bar stools. They were made by Jez Gallery, which does they have some stuff in there, but basically custom made. So custom made, there we go, said it again. The way that it worked was I found pictures on Pinterest, and then I showed them, and then I would show them a couple of different pictures of things. And then they came back to me with a drawing and something different, and they would show me which materials they had, because obviously I'm seeing something that might be in Europe or Australia and it's completely different materials. And then we replanned it to be our own. So that's why these chairs are completely unique, because they're a brand new sketched drawing. So they're obviously taken inspiration from something else, but that's the same that goes with like a lot of our things here. We took inspiration and then had it drawn up, and then we would be like, how about we do this instead of this, and make this bigger and that different, you know, unique.
It says, on your second bathroom in the order you showed us, the countertop is marble, but what is the wall? Concrete design almost looks like marble as well. It's polished concrete.
Wait, where? No.
The wall.
I think they mean the little squares. They're marble. Do you mean the master bathroom?
I'm just gonna. They mean all of the bedrooms and the office. The wall is polished concrete, and then the downstairs
Pink one.
bathroom, the pink one, that's got some marble on the wall as well.
Has pink tiles and then marble that's herringbone, it's called.
But pretty much all of the walls in the bathrooms are polished concrete. I was wondering though, what do you do with the couch and pillows on the rooftop when it rains? We do nothing and they get absolutely destroyed. We're changing all that right now. We're going to make some shutters going down, roll up, and then we're going to make concrete furniture with outdoor cushions.
Yeah, that was kind of just like a spur in the minute. We just wanted to quickly put some stuff up there, and after some thought, we're not really happy with how it looks up there. So
yeah, it was actually
some
just
more love.
we only put that there for the house tour video, and
Yeah.
we definitely wanted it to be a seating area, and that's what it's going to be. But yeah, we just hadn't got around to doing it, and we didn't want to prolong doing the house tour video any longer because we'd already been living in the house for so long. So
also, since we did the last video, the rooftop hasn't changed. We haven't progressed to do, you know how we asked you guys suggestions on what we should do. But we are thinking to make like a little room up there that's like a multi-purpose room. So we recently bought like a table tennis table. We want to pop that one up there. Maybe have like a little mini sauna and an ice bath, and then the room to be multi-purpose so it can also be like a little home gym. Not like a full one, but just have like a little space that we can use to do multi-purpose things. So that's where we're at with that progress. We just don't want to take up too much of the rooftop with like building because it's such a beautiful view. But I think like a little room on that big empty part for recreation will be fun. Okay, so our last question, I'm sure you guys have all been waiting for this. How much did it cost you? Break down the costs. Okay, so we're going to try and be as real and honest and explain this properly about how much it cost us. So when we first got this place, there was a contracted land and house price. That was,
I don't know. I think it was around 580 or something.
580 USD, 580,000 USD. That was with the basic house and land.
That's with all the
leased.
materials. Basically, they give you the couch, the tables, the fridge, the washing machine. Everything comes with it.
But
it's
there's
the
a
basic.
level,
It's
yeah.
like a basic level. And if you want to do anything cheaper, the house price comes down. If you want to do anything more expensive, the house price goes up.
But obviously, everyone's only goes up, not down. Because most of the materials that come with it they're not the most expensive materials.
Yeah.
So then when we started making some changes, we straight up got a extra price we basically extended the house. So
That was the biggest addition.
Yeah.
It was $100,000 more just to make the house
extend that
bigger.
entire house. So basically, they just times the product material by an amount of how much bigger it was going to be. So that was like 100,000 more. So now we're at about 680-ish. And then there came the prices of changing materials. So we changed lots of things. Like actually, I think like some of our flooring was actually cheaper than the original plan. So we might have made up a little bit of money here and there.
Yeah.
But in all our extra costs, we never did like a full calculation because we were just paying monthly, and then like we sourced the tiles ourselves, so we paid for that ourselves. We sourced the tapware ourselves and worked with a brand for that, so we did that ourselves. So some of the things we paid for individually, other ones we were just paying monthly towards them, and they would add up extra costs when they came up. We are going to say that we think something like this in this area and everything the same would be about
850
850,000 USD for this, we think.
We're being genuine when we say we don't actually know how much it would cost, because we did a lot of collaborations. We got a lot of the tapware for free, a lot of the furniture for free.
So we're giving like an estimated value.
And even then with the contractor price and the building price, we did buy things additionally ourselves. Like we bought all of the tiles, like Lauren said, ourselves.
Yeah.
And we haven't done the calculation of adding it all together. And
And this is including like pretty well furnished, like including like your fridge, your washing machine.
This is fully furnished.
Beds,
This is
couches.
fully furnished.
Yeah,
in
everything.
Bali, if you buy a house in Bali, normally,
Typically.
it's fully furnished. So even including the artwork, even. So yeah, it's around. I would say around 850-ish. You could probably get a house similar to this with cheaper furnishings for like 650, or you could get something more luxurious than this for like $1 million, 1.2. It just depends on your personal preference.
And area. Area is a
big one,
huge thing.
yeah.
So we're not beachfront. It's how long would you say it takes us to get to the beach? Maybe 5 minutes?
Takes me 5, Lauren 10.
5 minutes. So it's about 5-minute drive on a scooter down to the beach. So that obviously comes into play of how much it costs. I hope that really answered you guys' questions. I know you all really wanted to know that last one, so I hope that that explains it for you. If there's any little questions about like a particular detail here that we didn't answer, just comment them here and I'll do my best to get back to all of those ones. But thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.
I get you, I can see you. Call on me, I will be there. They see you drifting away, but I get you.
There he is.
Bye-bye.
Bye.